I'm going to do a walkthrough of our swimming broadcast setup. I did this several years ago, and it's still been pretty popular. So I thought I'd do another one, kind of show you how we do things now. It's a little different. So to start with, we're obviously using vMix as we use for all our broadcasts. We use Stream Decks and Companion for control, and that's nothing new. Um, we've got the Henry Engineering Sports Pod that we use for comms, talk back to our camera operators and our play-by-play people. If um, if we had play-by-play, we don't for swimming. We just bring in PA and ambient audio. But that's all routed through the X32, which is in a rack behind me here. Um, our We're using Dante belt packs I have built into the camera rig. So our one-man camera that we use in this case, all that audio, all that comms audio has gone through an X32. All the other audio, so play-by-play if we had it, PA, ambient, I bring in the audio from the starter and the starter horn. Um, that all goes into a Behringer XR12 that then goes into one of the cameras, and the cameras come up. The audio comes in through camera one. For cameras, we've got three cameras. Cameras 1 and 2 are both ADA HD200 NDI cams. Camera 1, I've swapped out the lens for something a little wider to make sure I fit the whole pool in. Camera 3 is a JVC HC500, and that's also NDI. So all three cameras come in via NDI. So everything comes into this room from the pool via network. The three NDIs for the program stuff, and then there's another Dante VLAN that brings in for the comp stuff. In terms of what what we're actually kind of showing on the broadcast, we're bringing in data from the Colorado System 7 timing console as well as high-tech Meet Manager. And I have some custom Python programs that kind of extract that data from those two places and mash it up and put it out in some JSON and CSV files that vMix can then ingest and display via titler. So for example, one of the things we have, obviously we have the results bug. You can kind of see up here, so we're showing the results bug. I also have lane overlays. So kind of over there you can see there's finish times. I also have start, and those are chroma keyed in a way, so it kind of looks like the swimmers are kind of going over top of those, which is fancy, and it's not nearly as good as NBC does it, but I think it's good enough for us. We've got some lower thirds that we can put up. So for example, lower third, right now it's on lane 4. I can just select let's change to lane 3, or lane 2, or lane 1. No one's in lane 1, someone's in lane 5. So there you go. I'm also bringing in like final results. So you can see input 12 here is just rotating results. So that's just going to rotate through all the results that have completed so far. And we can see in input 4, I've kind of got this mashup right here, and this is what we put up during breaks. So you can kind of see what's going on in the pool. You get the current scores. You also just get a continuing run through of all the events that have been completed so far. So that's pretty much it from up here. We'll walk down to the pool, and I'll show you some more stuff down at the pool. Okay, we're here in the pool, and we'll start with our manned camera that we have right here. This is our JVC HC500. I built a custom rig for it on rails. So everything's got the convenience panel that we plug into, similar to our other cameras that I've showed off previously. There is our Dante belt pack, and so this is our comms, so that we can talk back and forth. One of the cool things about this camera is I can actually send a return feed to the display. I don't, because it's not really needed for this, but that's kind of cool. I could send via SRT a return program feed right back to this camera. Two network cables on this camera, one for Dante and one for the camera itself. So because this camera is network connected, I can remotely shade it, which is super handy. Lighting doesn't change a ton in the pool, but that is a handy feature. So let's keep walking down. So next camera is our kind of start and finish camera. And you can see it right there. That's our one of the ATA 200 NDI cameras, and that's on this custom stand. It's actually a stand that we built for track and field, but we don't need it anymore. So so now I'm using it. This is our Hollyland tally light, which is kind of super handy. It's not as big a deal here in swimming, but in basketball it comes in handy. It gives me tally for our cameras. This is our announcer, and so I am running all our audio through the Behringer XR12, both venue audio, house audio, and broadcast audio. And so I've got the mic for the PA and the computer that's plugged into the PV DAC, which then goes into the mixer for audio. Our primary camera, I guess you would say, is this wide one right up here. It's actually on a light stand, but it is another one of those ATA HD 200s up there. And as I said before, that's got a little bit of a wider lens on it, so it covers the whole pool. This is kind of the heart of the system. So this is our little rack I have here with our one of our Aruba switches and the XR12. There's also a Raspberry Pi in here, and the Raspberry Pi is what I use to interface with the Colorado System 7. So I take the scoreboard out of the Colorado System 7, that's just a serial feed that goes into a serial adapter, and then the Python program on the Raspberry Pi parses that serial data and saves out a JSON file that vMix can read. There's our System 7. You can see the System 7 uses the connection to the scoreboard's wireless, so this port's free, and this is my port to the Raspberry Pi for the serial data. You can see we're using the Colorado, the Infinity, and I'm taking the speaker output, the external speaker output, and I'm running that into the XR12 so that I can do one of two things. One is I can boost the sound, so not only does when the starter talks out of the remote mic, it comes out of here, but it also comes out of the main speakers. Not quite as loud, just a little bit of reinforcement, but that also allows me then to bring that audio directly into the broadcast. And so into the broadcast, you hear the audio from the starter, and you hear the beep from the start sound, all in the broadcast, not just via ambient. Which, by the way, we do have an ambient mic right there. It's just an omnidirectional lav that I just got hanging over the pool to kind of bring in some ambient sound. I don't want to go crazy with the ambient because it is super noisy in here. There's just a ton of room noise in a pool, but you're not gonna not have that. So there's a little bit of ambient, and yeah, that's kind of it. That's what we do. That's what we do for swimming.